Raptors win their 11th straight basketball game at home against the Chicago Bulls and have now tied the franchise record for most wins in a row, like I said, with 11 in a one-sided affair. I would say full game, but it was a second and a half craziness by the Toronto Raptors as they prevail 129-102 over the Chicago Bulls. And what a game this was. I mean, look, I'm just going to ream off stats right now because I think I'm going to forget later on. The first thing I want to say is that Terence Davis fires up a career-high 31 points. Yeah. Is he really not in the Rising Star Challenge? We all know that's garbage. So guys, in the comments, fire down a hashtag NBA Rising Star, or Rising Star, or whatever you guys want to put. Put a hashtag down there in the comments, guys, supporting Terence Davis, because I know we talked about him in preseason. If you guys want to go back to the preseason videos, we talked about Terence Davis, and he has been electric. And it shows again today with his buddy Thaddeus Young on the other side, who I'm a huge fan of, and I would not be opposed to the Raptors trying to go for a guy like Thaddeus Young, a big energy guy, and a really, 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 really close friend to Terence Davis. So really good fit there, possibly. I don't know. But another thing I wanted to say is, before I forget, because my math is awful, the Raptors only allow 39 points in the second half. 39! On 31% shooting in the second half. That is stupidly good. And they win by 27 after trailing by 3 at halftime. Dominance in the second half. Now, let's start at the beginning. Back and forth game, a little run here for the Raptors, a little run here for Chicago. Raptors up by 3 after one quarter. In the second quarter, not really a whole lot going for the Raptors. You know, they had 34. We only had 28 in the quarter, and we're down by 3 at halftime. But as we've learned with this Raptors squad, they continue to find ways to come out after halftime and find ways to win. And that's what we've learned with this team. So yeah, you're down by 3 at halftime. They've shot 50% from 3. Do you really believe they're going to keep that up the entire game? No. The Raptors come out in the third quarter, and not only do they miss shots, Raptors defense tightens up like crazy. From going from allowing 29 and 34 in the first two quarters, Raptors give up 22 in the third, and the offense comes out guns a-blazing as they score 35 in the third quarter. The Raptors defense leads to their offense, and you're plus 13 in the third quarter, up by 10 after 3 quarters of play. You go to the fourth, we're going to close this game out strong, build on your lead, and the Raptors just don't look back. It starts with 2 big threes to start off the fourth quarter, nice 6-0 run to start. And then you just kind of play the rest of the game, you know, knocking down shots, getting stuff. It was just kind of a mathematical game. And the great thing about this, guys, Lowry, who's your most minutes in the game? Fred VanVleet, 32. With a team like Indiana on a home and home coming up, I mean, look, that is very nice to see those minutes going down, especially now that we found out that Norman Powell is going to be out indefinitely with a fracture in his hand, and Gasol's still out, and Rondé's still out. You go into a game like this and you absolutely pummel the Chicago Bulls. It's great. You contain Zach LaVine, you beat this team. And LaVine today had 18, 7, and 7. Look, he averages, what is he averaging on the season, is Zach LaVine? He's averaging 25. So the Raptors did an incredible job on him today. I was really impressed with what they did on Zach LaVine. And in that fourth quarter, the score after the fourth quarter, by the way, when the game ended, 34-17. They doubled them in the fourth quarter. So a great job all around from the Raptors. We all talked about over the last little while, the team maybe not being able to hold leads. You saw it today. You saw the total opposite today. They built on their lead and they finished strong. Really good job by the Toronto Raptors today, getting the job done at home, on their home floor, in front of the home crowd. And with the win today, that is 36-14 on the season. 36-14, people. Just take those numbers in for a second. And not only have they tied the Raptor franchise record for wins in a row with 11. With the win today, the Raptors they have identical records to last season through 50 games. Can we take a step back and look at that for a second? No Kawhi Leonard MVP Kawhi Leonard. No Danny Green. Perimeter, great defender. Spot up three-point shooter Danny Green. You don't have those guys. And you have the exact same record as you did last year as well. Last year you were mostly healthy. Even with Kawhi Leonard's load management games and everything. This year, the team can't stay healthy. And they have the identical record as they did last season after 50 games. I would say that's incredible. But even that word's not even enough. That right there is what is going on right now. The championship mentality from these guys. You're seeing tons of them step up. And we'll get to them in a second, each and every one of these guys, because they were incredible. And listen to this. Listen to these numbers, people, because these are beautiful numbers to watch. 56% from the field. That is insane. You hold them to 39% from the field. Like I said, in the second half, 31%. And Raptors shoot 47% from three, 16 for 34. The Raptors shot down 16 threes. That is insane. And they shoot 15, but if I'm not mistaken, they were in double digits at halftime, or more than double digits at halftime. So that tells you right there how they shot in the second half. And at the free throw line, Raptors were 83%, 19 for 23, where they were 65%. All domination for the Raptors, especially there in the second half. Rebounding, we were plus 5, actually, 46-41. In the offensive glass, they were actually plus 5. Raptors gave up 17 offensive rebounds today. So if there's any glaring number, it's that. But again, no Marc Gasol, no Rondae, who we all know rebounds extremely well. No Norman Powell, who sprinkles in some here and there. So you lost that today. Assists, 28 assists for the Raptors. The ball was humming. They looked real nice. 6 steals to their 10, but we had 5 blocks, and they did not block a single Raptor shot, so really good job there. 15 turnovers for the Raptors, not very pretty, but they did start out the game kind of shaky with that. So, not too bad there. Again, points in the paint, 56-40 in favor of Toronto. Second chance points, as much as, well, they were on the offensive glass, so they win the second chance by 7, 17-10. Fast break, 20 to 13 in favor of the Raptors, and points off a turnover, 17-16 in favor of Toronto. Now, let's get to the good stuff. The stats for this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Raptors in double figures. 7. Pascal Siakam, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Shot 6 of 14, 5 of 5 from the line, was 0 of 2 from 3. But again, plus 13 when he was on the floor. Did a job. He only played 28 minutes. OG Anunoby, 2 of 3 shooting. I think both were dunks anyways. Had a steal in the ballgame, 4 points. He also had 7 rebounds. And with OG Anunoby, what I've seen, is, at least today, his defense and his rebounding were 2 things that I looked at today, and I'm like, that was really good. But his offense, we're still not quite sure what OG Anunoby is at all. And you know what? To see him out there and defend the way he was today, what was he? Plus 6 on the floor. He didn't hurt your team. That's why I ain't complaining. Serge Ibaka did a job. 16 points, 6 boards, and assists in only 24 minutes. OG only played 21. So on 7 of 12 shooting, 1 of 2 from the line, 1 of 2 from 3. He had 3 blocks today, did Ibaka, and he was an even player. Kyle Lowry does a job. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists on 3 of 7 shooting. Only took 7 shots. He was 3 of 7 from 3. 5 of 6 from the line, had a steal in the ballgame, plus 14 while he was on the floor. And I mean, he only played 30 minutes, so a great job there. And Fred VanVleet, like I said, he played the most amount of minutes on the Raptors. 12 points, 4 boards, 8 dimes, 5 of 11 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3 for Freddie. Had a steal in the ball game, and he was a plus 17. Crazy. And then the man of the hour, my MVP, I think everybody's MVP from today's basketball game, Terence Davis II. Hashtag NBA Rising Star. All right. 31 points for Terence Davis in only 28 minutes. 4 rebounds. He had an assist as well. 12 of 15 shooting. He was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Excuse me, Boucher was 4 of 4. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 6 of 7 from 3. And a couple notes that I like to take from this game from Terence Davis' standpoint. There were 2 instances, at least the 2 that I saw, where Nick Nurse told Boucher, hey, stay off him. There's no need for a screen. Let this guy go ISO. Let Terence go one-on-one with this guy. And both times did he drain threes. The confidence, The confidence that, that Nick Nurse and the coaching staff have in Terence Davis, and not only that, the ability to make those shots from Terence Davis is just incredible. He was 6 of 7 from 3, 12 of 15 from the field, and listen to this, plus 18 while he was on the floor. And ladies and gentlemen, another reason why Terence Davis damn well should be in the NBA Rising Star Challenge. For a rookie, he leads the NBA in plus minus. And I mean, plus minus is a kind of an iffy stat, kind of an all over the place kind of stat, but he leads the NBA. I don't get it. I don't know why he's not, but that's just my opinion. All right, and now let's get to the other guys. The bench really came up huge today, guys. With all these guys shorthanded, they came out and played. Chris Boucher, 15 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist in 25 minutes. 5 of 10 shooting. He knocked down 1 of 4 from 3. 4 of 4 from the line. He had 2 steals in the game. He was a plus 21 while he was on the floor. Pat McCaw played 23 minutes, 10 points, 2 boards, couple assists on 3 of 5 shooting. 2 of 3 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line. He had a steal in the game, plus 20 while he's on the floor. When Pat McCaw gets aggressive, good things happen. When he's settling and going 22 minutes and not taking a shot, he doesn't look good. Go out there and be aggressive, especially coming off the bench. And he looked good today. I really like what we saw from McCaw today. And then even Matt Thomas sprinkles in a little bit of action himself. 7 points in 18 minutes, 3 of 6 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, plus 18 while he was on the floor. So an all-around incredible second-half performance for the Toronto Raptors as they come away with a 27-point victory over the Chicago Bulls. All right, now, then the contest starts to get a little difficult now over the next couple games. You play at home and home now against Indiana, all right? You've been playing Chicago. You've been playing these down teams that aren't very good. Now you got to play a team that's legit. You got to take on an Indiana Pacers squad who is 31-18, a really good basketball team. And on the road, they are 13-12, which is serviceable. So the Raptors got to come out and they look for their 12th straight victory, which would be a franchise record, and they look to stay on this nice little roll. Because then the next game after that is 2 days later in Indiana. So you got to find a way to do a job here, guys. I mean, look, I'm so proud of these guys for this victory today, but you got to go into that next game with that much more intensity. You play like you did in the second half today for the entire of that game, you're going to win. You hang around in that next game, until halftime, as we've learned, you'll come out in the third quarter, guns a-blazing. I love this team. I love what they're doing. Jack Armstrong said it great after the game. He said, you know, the championship was great. Last year was great, but this year seems a lot more fun. And we've talked about it on here on the on the channel here about that very thing a few times. And I'll say it again. I absolutely feel the same way that this year's a lot more fun to watch. Now, what will it all end up to be? We won't know until it actually happens. So, all right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed this game there this evening, smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video. Who is your MVP in today's basketball game? I think we all have no doubt it's Terence Davis for almost all of us. If you have any other suggestions, though, let me know in the comments. All right, I want to hear your thoughts down below, guys. And Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Patreon link is down below, so sign up for that if you guys are interested. And I will talk to you guys Leafs edition, as their next contest is tomorrow against the Florida Panthers at Scotiabank Arena. The Leafs playing really good hockey the last little bit, winners of 3 straight games. Look for win number 4 in a big game at Scotiabank Arena against the Panthers. 7 o'clock puck drop there. Sergei Bobrovsky in net for the Florida Panthers, and Frederik Andersen back in goal for the Leafs after Hutchinson getting the start yesterday against Ottawa. And as for our Raptors, as we've talked about, they don't play for another 3 days. They have Monday, Tuesday, and then yes, technically, if you want to say 2 days, but 2 or 3 days off, I guess you could put it, as they take on the Indiana Pacers on Wednesday night at Scotiabank Arena. 7:30 tip-off there. Big game for the Raptors as they look for win number 12 straight, which will be a franchise record, and look to continue to build on these wins. All right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys then.